Hello, folks. I'm David, and this is From the Hip podcast, hosted by Say What Podcast Studios and sponsored by the Covenant Studios. Today, I have the beautiful Chloe Juniper with me, a local DFW model. And so I want to introduce you to Chloe.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Well, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you.
Always a pleasure to have you.
Yes, thank you. It's always so lovely to get to see you and shoot at your studios. I love them.
Chloe has the best complexion of any woman I've ever seen.
Oh, thank you.
Is that all natural, or do you work on it?
I'm an esthetician, so I love skincare. Anything that has to do with skincare and making people feel like pretty and, happy within themselves, I love it. So,
You want to do an estimate on this?
you know what? That would be fun. It'd be good.
Yeah.
It'd be good. You look great.
I was in an animal clinic the other day.
An animal clinic?
Uh-huh. And the main vet, who I've known for 10 years, I looked over at her and said, "Have you been out in the sun?" It looked like she was peeling
Oh, poor
bad.
baby. Yeah.
It's, oh no,
It's
it's an anti-aging treatment.
Yeah.
And I said,
Chemical peel, probably, possibly.
and I told her, I said, "Doc, it ain't working."
Oh, it takes a while to heal up, though.
Yeah,
So-
evidently.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it does. So what it is there's different acids, basically, like alpha hydroxy acids, things like that, and we put them on your skin. And depending on how we've worked you up with the treatment, your skin will peel, which is why it's called a peel. So basically, all of your old dead skin is peeling off. So underneath, when it's healed, it's super soft and fresh and glowy. But the healing portion can be very uncomfortable.
And unattractive.
Yes, which obviously we let people know way beforehand. We don't want them to, be going to a party the next weekend and then they're like, why do I look like this? So yeah, no. But yes, typically when it's over, people are very, very happy with the results. So
Well, I know and she's got 15 techs working for her,
yeah.
and most of them were there in the area. When I told her, I said, "Doc, it ain't working," they roared.
Oh,
And,
sweet girl.
and then next time I saw her, it looked a whole lot better.
Yeah, that's good. I'm so glad. So can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So what made you want to do a podcast? I know so many people that talk about wanting to do a podcast, but then, actually getting it up and running, it's a lot of work and, time commitment and all that. So
Do you know William Hernandez?
the name's familiar. I don't know if I've met him.
His wife is the photographer. He's the second photographer.
Okay.
And I think it's Photo Lilies Photography or something like that.
Okay.
He decided to start a podcast.
Okay.
And he wanted me to be a guest. And he was doing his first one here in the building. He used the conference room, and which is very echoey out there. But he had two other photographers that were going to be shooting in the studio. I think they were shooting Whitley.
Okay. Love her. She's
And
great.
so he interviewed them, then he interviewed me. And I loved it.
It's just fun. Yeah.
And that was back March. And I decided I want to do a podcast.
That's fair. I love that.
I like people. I like to talk.
Yeah.
And I don't speak well, but, what can I say?
Agree. I feel that. Yeah. During COVID, I had a Star Wars podcast with one of my friends, and we, did it over the web because, social distancing and all that
Right.
fun stuff. He also lived in a different city, but still. But yeah, it was so fun. So I absolutely understand that. We still talk about doing it, but then we don't make the time, make the commitment to the time anymore. So I
Well-
get that. That's great.
When I decided to do it, I did a lot of research. And although I've been a photographer for 50 years, I'm not a videographer. I'm not a sound guy. So it's a whole new world.
Yeah. Which is fun to learn, though.
It's a ball to learn.
Yeah. I
But-
love that.
So I started acquiring equipment. We're running a Rodecaster Pro
Okay.
into a Blackmagic A10 Pro Mini ISO.
Oh, the Black Magics are so good.
And the cool thing about it is the sound goes into the Rodecaster, And then it goes out of the Roadcaster into the ATEM.
Okay.
And the ISO, the ATEM is the video board. It actually syncs the sound with the video, assuming we push all the right buttons,
Right.
which,
We got our expert over there.
well, Glenn has forgot a button or two in the past, haven't you, Glenn?
That's okay. That's okay.
And
You're still the expert in the room, right? That's all that counts. No.
so we started, I had looked at this space here
Yeah.
and thought it'd be perfect. And then the lady that had it decided not to let it go.
Okay.
So we started setting it up in Studio B, where the pinup area used to be.
Right.
And I'm acquiring equipment. Jeffrey Thomas was our studio rep at the time, and he had some experience. So he's hooking things up, and he's running the soundboard and the video board. And then this space became available. So I got the lease beginning the 1st of June.
Okay.
And sorry we're so off track, folks. But
Oh,
anyway,
I'm sorry. I was like asking about the
No.
podcast. I was.
I'm the one that's going into the story. It's my fault.
That's fair.
And then I got sick,
Yes.
and I was down for 3 weeks. And in that time, Jeffrey got a heck of a job offer in Denver.
Okay.
So he moves. Now, prior to moving, he had moved all the equipment down here. And so, great. I can, get started. Got a feeling better. And I've never run a soundboard. I've never run a video board. And it's a new world.
Oh yeah.
And so I was practicing on my wife, on family, on friends. And it seemed like every time I did one, I forgot to push a button.
Okay.
And I'd have video and no audio.
Yeah.
And, or we would pause, and I would forget to hit the record button again.
Yeah.
So, instead of a 20-minute podcast, I had a 3-minute podcast.
Right. Yeah.
And then I ran into an issue of finding the correct file. That was a big user error. I finally called Blackmagic. I sent them screenshots, and they call it the program file.
Okay.
We get a file, a folder with all the audio tracks, a folder with all the video tracks. And it's not in a folder, but there's the program file that has the audio and the video synced and matched,
Cool.
and all the camera views.
Nice.
And I felt like an idiot when Blackmagic said, there on your second screenshot, it's the last one. That's your program file. I'm calling it a master file. And Eureka, everything was there.
Amazing.
The world was lovely.
Well, I'm glad that it's working out, and now we're both here. So.
Finally,
Yes.
we had a little hookup trouble, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah. My schedule's crazy, so thank you for working around that.
Oh, well, hopefully we pushed all the buttons today.
Yes.
And as far as we know,
It
right?
is a shrug. He's like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'm double checking
We'll
here.
find out.
Chloe is a local DFW model. So, first, where are you from?
So I was born in Dallas. And
Okay.
then, yeah, my parents kind of moved all over South Texas off and on when I was growing up. And then I moved back here to live with my now in-laws, actually, when I wanted to go off for college, when I needed to get out of where I was and needed a place to stay. And so they offered me a place to stay. And then I started dating
Well,
their
hold
son
on.
and all of that. And so that's how I'm here now.
Your in-laws.
My in-laws, yes.
Now, to me, in-laws are husband's family.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then, so you're in South Texas, all over,
Yes.
because
Different areas.
Dad in the oil industry?
No, that's a really long story for another day. We'll just say my mom got bored every few years and she enjoyed renovating houses.
Okay.
And so every 3 years they would start looking for new houses and then they would find one after about a year and then we'd move in and then they'd renovate it. And then another 2 years
Sell
would
it
pass.
and
Yeah, but they didn't do it like for a profit. Like they weren't like, like flipping houses or I just, it's family stuff. That's just the story that I tell. It's easy, it's simple. And then we ended up in Kerrville. And then that's where my parents still reside to this day.
okay.
Yeah. And I was like, I want to get back to the city. I want to get out. Yeah. So long story short, my now in-laws, because I grew up knowing my now father-in-law, because he owned a business with my dad in Dallas before we initially left Dallas when I was little. So
And what business was that?
it was the steel industry.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and now my father-in-law teaches at SMU.
Oh,
So, yeah, he teaches, it's statistics for psychology for grad students. So
it's
he's-
what?
Statistics for psychology for graduate students.
It's a mouthful, isn't it?
It is, it's a lot. And he's also tenured. So he's a hot shot there at SMU.
So now you've attended college or are attended?
I have my bachelor's
Okay.
in integrative studies. And then I was in the process of getting my master's started up it was mostly for counseling for play therapy. And I just got really burnt out. And so I took a year and a half off. And during that time, I was like, I love studying this. I love working with kids. I focused mostly on my studies with childhood development, brain development. I really wanted to understand almost like the internal anthropology, of like why we do what we do. How do we become the people we become? Why is someone different now versus like 30 years from now? Like, how does someone change drastically? Even if it seems like it's drastically, it can take years. So that was something that really interested me, and that was my focus. And then I just eventually was like, I interviewed so many people locally who do that kind of work, and they were like, here's the pros and cons, and the cons are very strong. So like you have to feel like you're able to go home at the end of the day, process, who are you we're working with, the trauma, the energy, that you're getting from that. And then also while dealing with the state who's not very
Cooperative?
supportive. Yes, they're not very cooperative with mental health
Excuse me.
in Texas. It's very difficult. So I just sort of took a break. I was just burnt out on school. And then during that time, I was like, I literally went to get my lips done one day. And I'm getting poked with a needle. I don't care. I was so happy. And then I'm like, why am I not in this industry? Like, not the injection aesthetic side, but I love skincare and I love making people feel good about themselves. So I was like, why am I not doing skincare? And that also kind of came with being in the modeling industry too, because all of us have massive insecurities, like everybody, and being a model helped me feel better about myself. I hate how I look in the mirror, but I like how I look in photos, which is normally the opposite. And that's bizarre, right?
Yeah, that is.
It's bizarre, but it's helped me where if I can see through a lens how someone else sees me, the way that, maybe they angle me or they edit the lighting or something, and I can see a version of myself that I couldn't see before, but they could see that. That kind of helped me see myself as less black and white of like, oh, I'm too fat here, or my cheekbones look too stupid here, But then that somehow got me into the idea of I did want to take better care of my skin, and I wanted to take care of myself because I didn't hate how I looked as much anymore. And I know that sounds maybe bizarre, but that just sort of ended up there, and I love what I do now. So,
Well, I know the first time I met you, you'd come in the studio to shoot with Adam, I believe.
it was probably Adam. Yes, Adam's here all the time. He loves it.
And I saw you and I thought, she has the perfect skin and features.
Thank you. That's very kind.
She
of
ought to
you.
photograph beautifully. And she does.
Thank you.
I've seen the pictures, folks. She does.
It's very kind of you. Thank you.
So how long have you been, quote, in the modeling industry?
So probably seriously, maybe 2 years. It was sort of an accident. I ran into a gentleman named Jeremy Campbell, and he did sort of fun 80s themed sort of styled shoots just for fun. And he asked if I wanted to shoot one time. And I was like, sure. And I was so uncomfortable. Like, I remember I was so stiff, and he's like, it's okay. Like, don't pose. Just, And then I didn't really do anything for a while. And then one of my good friends, Stephanie Alstelet, who, is a gorgeous local model, she did an underwater shoot, and I was obsessed with it. I commented on the photos, like, you look like a goddess, like, this is stunning. And the photographer, John Milton, saw my comment and then reached out and was like, hey, do you want to do a shoot sometime? And that's just sort of how things happen. I started doing it. I was like, wait, I love this. And then, he's like, if you ever want to shoot again, let me know. And I was like, I have all of these ideas if you're open to them. And he's like, yeah, I'm open to them. So then once I started, it's also a way to be so creative too. And I feel like we all need some sort of creative outlet, in some form, especially in the everyday world where everything becomes so rigid and black and white. And what's the word I'm looking for? Just the schedule. The schedule sometimes needs some pizzazz.
Well,
and I feel like photography offers people that opportunity. So.
Did you ever get an opportunity to shoot at the pinup set?
Maybe. I don't know. That
Oh,
was in
you would
Studio
know
B.
if you did.
I don't think so then.
Yeah.
Probably not. I don't think so.
It was in an area, Studio B.
Okay.
It was a 50s,
Was that the Pink Kitchen?
the pink kitchen.
No, I saw it in photos, but I never shot there. No.
Yeah, you would have been perfect
It
for
was
that.
really cute.
The thing about doing pinup, to do
Mm-hmm.
it well, you need expressions.
Mm-hmm.
Lucille Ball, if anybody's familiar with her.
Personality, the big eyes, the eyebrow stuff.
Oh, yeah, and,
Yeah. Yeah. I feel that.
yeah, and that sells it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really fun. I did a shoot with Joel. What is his? It's Luxography is his tag online.
Dominguez.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
I never know how to say his last name. So that's why I'm like, Joel Luxography.
Well, I probably
But-
butchered it, but
It sounded right to me. We'll see. If
It's
he's
close.
watching, I will send this to him and we'll find out. But yeah, we got to do sort of a pinup shoot a few weeks back. He's doing a sort of like a pinup calendar. And I know
told
he
me
was
that.
yes, he was at your studio shooting Whitley and Katie a couple weeks back as well.
Okay.
I remember because I was here shooting with Josue, I think, the same day. But yeah, and that was really fun because you got to do like the over dramatic kind of like gasping look with the dress or like peeping up, like getting stuck on a little fence and stuff. And it's so fun.
well, Joe and I, he wants to do a podcast with me.
His personality is incredible. You should have him on here. He's very energetic and passionate too.
It's like you. I'm
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah.
His schedule's not.
Yes. I work and I go to school.
Yeah.
So right now it's hard. Yeah.
But you changed jobs recently.
Yes. I love it. It's great. So
Tell people what you were doing
Mm-hmm.
and what you're doing now.
yeah, I was a key holder at Kendra Scott. I was there for about a year. And that was only supposed to last as long as I was in school. I was very open with my manager when I interviewed for it. And she's like, yeah, that sounds good. And then a lot of stuff happened with that. My store got closed down because they opened up a new location. Then all the girls got scattered and no one's hours were the same because, you can't bring in someone, you can't bring in someone to a store who's new, not new to the company, but new, and then knock off other people's hours, So
Right.
just got kind of complicated. My manager did what she could, but, it's sort of out of her hands. And so I just started interviewing elsewhere and I ended up finding this place called Talos and Muse. Just opened. It's a nail salon, soon to be med spa, and Vietnamese coffee bar, and also like alcohol bar. So you've got like this whole setup. And I was like, well, I baristaed before. If you need a barista until I'm licensed, until maybe your med spa opens, and you might want to consider me for that. And my boss, her name's Lynn. She's amazing. She's like, yeah, that sounds good. So now I work at a coffee shop again, which I love it. It's so good. You have to come by. Vietnamese espresso is like a whole new wonderland. It's
I'm not a coffee
amazing.
guy,
You're not? Okay.
but when I first got sober, I got sober at Fellowship Church. And that little bitty church across from Bass Pro Shop,
I'm not familiar with it, but I believe you that it's
it's
there.
huge. It's
Okay.
huge.
Okay.
And they have a coffee shop. And I volunteered at the coffee shop. And I loved it.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It was.
It's fun. You get to make people's mornings by making their little, specialty treat drink, and they're happy and you're happy, and it's great.
I enjoyed the whole environment. Because right before and right after services, we would get snowed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because everybody's getting their coffee before the service and after the service.
Right.
And I was there all the time. And they sometimes kidded me. They wanted to rename it David's Coffee Shop. But
You were like the face of it.
well, I've just spent so much time there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it was fun. They had great coffee. If you're a coffee drinker.
Yes. If you're not a coffee drinker, then no. But
And they used a roaster in Dallas called AHH, A-H-H,
I haven't heard of that.
coffee. Now, this has been 15 years ago,
Okay.
so I don't know if they're still in business or not, but it was so much better than Starbucks.
Starbucks. I don't like Starbucks coffee. I worked at Starbucks. It's
I agree with you,
yeah.
but I
There's
don't
other
drink.
places to go instead, for sure.
I don't drink hot drinks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Got it. Well, we have a lot of almost everything we have is iced because it's also like the boba tea shop. So we have a lot of fun stuff. If you ever want to come by.
I'll do that sometime.
Yeah, I love that.
So tell us more about your modeling journey.
Well, is there anything in specific you'd like specifically you'd like to know, or just
What's
sort
been
of-
your best shoot?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Thinking, downloading.
The worst shoot?
I don't know about the worst shoot. Also, that's like calling out names. Come on. Well, not names, but even like a theme, you know, and someone watches and they're like, oh, they didn't like that. I mean, there was a shoot I did where I left after 30 minutes because, you know, person was being very pushy, and we had talked beforehand about what was and was not to be expected, and then they claimed there was like a language barrier and stuff, why like they didn't understand, and then
English?
and then all these other girls had the same thing happen to them, so we're like,
Yeah.
it's not a language barrier, sir. So that, you know, wasn't great, but I don't know about best shoot. I really just have fun. I mean, I love getting to shoot with Adam. The most recent thing I cannot speak today. I've only had 6 shots of coffee. It's fine. Yeah, we did a shoot inspired by the book Bunny. I read Bunny twice, back to back, obsessed with it. And I had all these ideas in my head when I was reading it. And so I was like, Adam, can we go like shoot this book idea? And he was like, okay, sure. So I've done that. I've done a couple shoots with Red lately, which have been super fun.
With who?
With Red. Cyber
Red.
Red Lytic.
Yeah.
Yes. They're so
the girl,
fun.
photographer.
They, them, yes. Yeah, they're amazing. They're so fun to work with because we both get really hyper when we work together. So we talk beforehand.
Without the coffee?
Oh yeah, no, we I don't think we've ever had coffee on a set, but yeah, we get very excited. We'll have the shoot kind of planned out. We're both very verbal about like props, and I'll sort of ask them like, is there anything you need me to bring and all that. And I like to when we're like fully collabing, I like to try to 50-50 things as much as possible. So, but no, they're amazing. We get on the set and, we'll know the exact time we have to shoot. And then we're both really good about like, I'm good about helping them like clean up afterward. Like, okay, tell me what you need. Tell me what's going to like help you. But there's so much fun. And we laugh nonstop like every shoot. So those are so fun. I don't know if I have like a favorite shoot, but I haven't shot with Steve Marshall in forever because we've both been so busy. But when I get to shoot with Steve, it's so fun because he's got his own studio. I've got ideas. He has ideas. He has this huge wardrobe, all these backdrops. So I'll come with ideas. He'll have ideas. And there was one time I think we shot for like 6.5 hours.
Oh, geez.
Just shooting, just having fun. And I had photos for months, because they were all different, did the hair different. He's great, and it's really nice when you have creatives who you feel completely comfortable with. There's no one's trying to impress anybody. Everyone's just comfy and laid back. And Steve's one of the nicest people I've ever met. So just being around him, it's just so like warm and chill and kind of fatherly, and so it's fun. And Adam loves him. He loves Adam. We just sort of all go and just like shoot.
She just
forever.
called you old.
No.
She said fatherly.
He would agree with you. That's what sucks. I'd be like, no. And he'd be like,
I know Steve.
You know Steve?
Yeah.
He's precious.
He's
I love
over
him.
30.
Oh, I know, but that's okay.
Yeah.
His daughter's
not
half
say
my
way
age.
over.
I would hope that he's over 30. Yeah. He's precious, though. I love him. But yeah.
Have you shot with Jessica yet? Jessica Moran.
I don't think so. No, she's a photographer.
She's a photographer.
I have not then yet. No.
She's very creative.
Cool.
She came in here one day
To
with,
look her up.
she came in with like 150 roses.
Ooh, like real roses?
Real roses.
Oh, that's a monetary commitment, Jessica.
She had worked a huge party, and they had all these roses. And after the party, they were going to throw them away.
Oh, yeah, take those.
And they were just the rosebud and a little bit of a stem.
Yeah, but take them. Oh my God.
And then, so she got them, and she was coming to the studio to shoot. And she wanted to make a rose crown. And so she got a bungee cord
Okay.
and started gluing roses to it and made a crown.
That's amazing. I love that so much. Yeah, I'm in the middle of making my graduation cap. In esthetician school, there isn't a formal graduation ceremony because everything is by hours. It's not like, oh, you've completed 12 months, you're done. It's all hourly based. You have to clock in with your fingerprint because it's government like tracked. So when you're done, you just sort of go in and clock out with your fingerprint, and your teacher's like, "Yay! Here's your license. Here's your certifications.
Bye."
Yay! Yeah." So everyone tries to, we'll do something whatever's meaningful to them. They'll have their family or friends come. They'll wear a pretty dress or something just to make it cute. So I'm in the middle of making my graduation cap, so I'm very excited about that. I love like getting crafty with things. So
When do
that's
you
fun.
graduate?
Next month.
Okay.
I don't have the exact day yet. Again, it's based by hours. So like if there's one night where I'm exhausted and I'm like, you know what, I need to clock out half an hour early, then that's half an hour I got to make up the next week.
Right.
So, but at this point, it should be within the last week of September. So,
Okay.
so close.
And then you get to do what?
So hopefully I get to work in the med spa of the place where I'm currently being a barista. My boss is in charge of sort of getting that side of things open. Because when I went in to talk with her, I was, like, hey, I graduate soon. I'm looking for a place that's potentially hiring. And then that's when we, started talking, and she showed me around, and I ended up with a barista job by the time I left. And then, but she's been amazing. I'm really excited. I don't have any, specific plans. I just know that's the industry that I want to be in. So I'm excited that there's, it's headed in that direction.
Have you shot with Ivy, Warner, Wagner?
I don't believe so.
Her
I've
and
shot
Jessica?
with Jay Wagner, but no, I haven't.
Yeah, no.
No.
Whitley has shot with her a lot.
Okay.
Some
Then
of
I'm
the,
sure I've seen her work.
some of the real creative makeup,
Is
outfits.
that the one with like the blue and purple flowers? Whitley's posted that recently. Sort of like it looks like a girl like slowly, like a
I
flower
don't
nymph
know.
or something maybe?
I
Okay.
don't remember the image.
Okay, but no, I haven't.
Yeah, well, she's very creative.
Wonderful.
And Glenn is very creative.
Yes.
And
We had fun. The bathtub shots that we got I love those shots. They're so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah. I know that it was supposed to be kind of sexy, mysterious, but one of my favorite books, it's by an author named Nat Cassidy. It's called Mary. And there's women in bathtubs as a major visual theme in it. And the cover is a woman in a bathtub. And I saw that. I was like, this reminds me of Mary. He's like, oh, this is so cool. And I'm like, this reminds me of my favorite horror novel. And he's like, that's not what I was going for. And I was like, but I love that because someone can see it and be like, ooh, that's sexy and mysterious. And then I see it and I'm like, this reminds me of my favorite book. So it was so fun. Everyone asked me, like, Glenn, how you got the smoke to come up through the bathtub like that. They were all like, what did he do? They were so impressed. So, yeah.
So everybody knows the Glenn we're talking to.
Yes. Oh, wait,
He's-
do they? Did we formally introduce Glenn? I don't think we did.
Well, we're not going to put
Do
him
we,
on
like,
camera.
turn the camera slowly?
No, we're not going to.
Turn it back again?
We won't do that to people.
No. He can
Well-
pop a little, like, selfie of himself into, like, now, like, little phone selfie.
But that would ruin your podcast.
No, it'd be funny. It'd be good. Do it. Make it chaotic.
Glenn is
it.
extremely creative
Yeah, I love that.
and a good photographer.
Yeah.
And he's making a good sound and video board, I think.
I love it. I mean, the clips that I've seen look and sound perfect. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
So tell us about your tattoos. Because
yeah.
your Instagram is The girl with the Dragonair.
The girl with the Dragonair tattoo, yes. So I wanted a dragon tattoo and I wanted a Pokemon, and then I was like, well, what if I just did both? Even though I can't remember, I don't think Dragonair is a dragon type. It's a water type, I think.
I have
Someone's
no
going to be
clue.
watching this and correct me. But I think that's part of what's funny is I don't think it's a dragon type. I think it's Gyarados that's the dragon type. And I'm going to have to double check because I feel like a fraud right now. But yes, so this little guy, and then my Dratini, this is one of my favorites. This and then my Grogu are probably my favorite tattoos.
Your what?
Grogu.
Okay.
These are probably my two favorites, which is great because they're both prominently featured on my arms.
Well,
So
you got to remember, I'm old, so I don't know who most of these are.
oh, that's okay. Grogu's Star Wars, so
Oh,
yeah, but it's new Star Wars, so
new Star, yeah.
new Star Wars, Disney
Yeah.
Plus streaming Star Wars.
I was on the old Star Wars,
I love old Star
the
Wars.
original,
Do you have a favorite Star Wars character, just out of curiosity?
the Wookiee.
The Wookiee, Chewbacca? I love
Yeah.
Chewbacca. He's so great.
Yeah. And, yeah, he's what I always wanted to be when I grew up.
Aw, like a sweet, cuddly guy with a little bow and arrow.
The hair.
the hair. Okay, all right. That's a goal.
I
That's a
shave.
vibe.
I shave once a week, whether I need to or not.
Okay, so you're actively going in the opposite direction of what you want it to be. Then
I am.
you're choosing you're choosing the non-Wookiee path.
But I'm not bald.
That
So
is
that's
true.
good.
That is true, which is great.
Can y'all imagine me bald, folks?
I'm sure it'd be fun. You'd have to put sunscreen on your head, but
Well, I did shave my head one day.
on purpose.
Had it done.
Okay.
Now, when I say shaved, I mean, hair that long.
Adam's done that before, yeah.
Military cut.
Yeah.
And
It feels so weird. Like when I pet Adam's head when he does that, I'm just like, it feels like Velcro. It's so weird.
don't talk about petting Adam's head.
Sorry.
here.
He's gonna send this to me and just send me a selfie just staring at me like,
I did it in support of a guy in our AA group that had cancer,
oh, that's so sweet of you. I
and
love
he had
that.
lost all his hair.
Yeah,
And
it's really hard.
I wasn't quite brave enough to shave mine in support, but it was extremely short.
Yeah, I'm sure he appreciated the solidarity regardless.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah,
But it grows back.
yeah, it
You know.
is. Yeah, we're not dealing
Eventually.
with what they're dealing with, so I understand that for us it's not seen as like a temporary thing. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So how do people get hold of you if they want to shoot you?
Yes. So I have a couple Instagrams. It's pretty easy to find me. Just type in Chloe Juniper. So I have my main modeling account, which is the girl with the Dragonair tattoo.
Say it slowly and then spell it for people.
The whole thing. Okay. So
You just write it down so you can read it?
it honestly, no, I'm good. So honestly, every time a person has handed me their phone so that they can find me, I type in Chloe Juniper. All three of my accounts pull up. And then if you find any of them, my other accounts you can find in the bio of that account. So the girl with the Dragonair tattoo is my main one. Aphrodite Aestheticos is my esthetician account. And then if you need to go simple, just Chloe Juniper Modeling. That was my backup account because I got locked out on my main account because someone kept trying to hack into it for a while. So I got locked out for 8 months, I think. And now it's back, so that's good. I'm very grateful for that. I'm very scared. I'm like, please.
C-H.
CHLOE, Juniper, JUNIPER, and then modeling, MODELING. Yes, there we go. I did it. And you can find you can find me through all of those. And I have access to all three of those still currently, knock on wood, keep that going.
Here.
Yeah, no, that's not wood.
Yes, it is.
It's not wood.
Ask either of my wives.
Okay. I'll text them. I don't have their number, so you'll have to give me their number and I'll text
give
them.
them-
And
yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Now,
Do you have any tattoos?
no.
No. You've never been tempted.
Never tempted, and I hate
Pain?
needles.
Needles? Okay, that's fair. Most guys I know hate needles. Like it's like specifically a guy thing.
When
Well, not
you're,
specifically, it's not that, but like the majority of people that I hear, like girls will be like, oh, maybe not. And then guys are like, no, I hate needles.
of course, being old, I go to the doctor quite often.
That is completely fair. Medical needles are completely, no.
I make
No, no,
them
no.
use a baby needle when
I
they
know
draw
a lot
blood.
of people that do that. Yes.
Well, I have
feel
small
that.
veins.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So then, yeah.
And-
But still, no, it's never fun. Medical stuff is not fun in general. So I
And
understand.
I'm going to go off topic since we're talking about tattoos.
Yeah.
I've got a friend in AA, and he's got full sleeves, and he gets tatted a lot. He was at his tattoo artist, and a gal came in, and the artist said, "Well, did you get your shot?" He says, "Yep, I'm ready." And he was standing there and watching them work on her, and it like she felt nothing. And so when she left, he asked the artist, "What's going on there?" And she says, "Oh, her husband's a dentist." So he gives her a shot of Novocaine in that area
Oh my God.
before she comes in.
That's jealousy inducing.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
It's amazing.
My friend Ken,
Yeah.
and I won't tell his full name on air,
Yeah.
he thinks wonderful. He calls his local Walgreens where he buys everything and orders a topical Novocaine ointment.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can get those. Yeah.
And it came in, and he bounces down there and pick it up. He's so excited. And he said the young girl at the counter, when she gave it to him, she was giggling. He said, oh, it's a lifestyle thing. The other girl behind the counter broke out laughing. He's an old, gray-haired lady, put her hand on his back and said, "I'll pray for you." He said, "It's just a lifestyle thing. It's the pain I can't stand, the pounding in the same spot over and over and over." And then both girls broke up laughing. He pays for it. He goes out to his car. He's really puzzled. He said he's sitting in his car. A thought crossed his mind. He broke out in a cold sweat. He ripped the bag open, looked at it. It was a topical ointment, mostly for gay men.
Love that.
And
Perfect.
he was so, he said, "I can never go back to that store again."
No, that's when you go back. He's famous now. They're going to be so happy when he comes
That's what
back
he's
in.
afraid of.
Yeah. That'd be so
That's what he's afraid of.
Aw. That's okay. Hopefully he has a really amazing gay friend who will appreciate the money he spent. You know.
Well, at least he said it did make the pain of the needles better.
It helps a bit, yeah. You
Oh,
have
you
to
do
be
the same
careful
thing,
with-
huh?
I have some artists are very picky about it because they say some of them, the way that it absorbs in the skin, sometimes the ink doesn't work well with it. And when it's healing, it can actually mess up the color. So I normally talk to whoever I'm working with and ask what they like to work with because different artists like different brands. So I sort of just work within their comfort level, but it can help. It helps for like 45 minutes. But I just sort of space out. I fell asleep during my 8.5 hour one. I was just like, whatever. Just do it. I just brought a pillow and a blanket and an audiobook and I fell asleep.
Well,
But still, yeah.
I've hurt my back real bad one time. And went to several chiropractors who I strongly believe in. But I was just in miserable pain.
Yeah. I have chronic back pain and shoulder pain, so I feel for you very deeply. I've had it since I
Well-
was 11, so I understand. To a degree.
I called a friend of mine who had raved about this acupuncturist.
Acupuncture is amazing, actually.
And I was desperate. So I made an appointment. And I'm afraid of needles. And you know what they use in acupuncture? They use needles.
Even if you can't see it, it's, yeah.
And
They're
they're
there.
long needles. And
You
first,
can feel
she,
them in your back.
she did cupping on my back. I'm laying on the table. And then she starts sticking my back full of needles. I only felt one of them, and I jumped.
Oh, she's really good at her job
And-
then if you only felt one.
And she pulled it out, said, "Nope, not there,"
Yeah.
and put it in somewhere else.
Wow. I've always felt
And-
them, so yeah, she's good.
And I fell asleep on the table.
So, no, that's probably the best I've ever felt. I always got panic attacks after my sessions. So they were like, maybe you shouldn't come back because like I Googled it. Apparently sometimes acupuncture can cause people like really bad anxiety and panic attacks. And it's supposed to wane over time, but it's not like from the measles. It's from just things getting like stirred up. And it never got better, so I had to stop. But that is the only time I've ever not had back pain. So acupuncture is magical
I walked
for that.
I walked out of there 80% better.
Yeah.
And I made another appointment immediately
Yeah.
before I left. And it's a week later. And part of the reason I did, because I'm frugal, parsimonious is a big word for frugal.
Love that.
And if you made another appointment within 7 days, you got a major discount.
Oh, nice.
And so when I went back and saw her, she said, "How you feeling?" And I said, "Not worth a damn." She said, "What's wrong?" And I said, "This worked. I really didn't want it to work.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to say, see, it's Hoey."
It's stupid. Yep. I was in the same boat. I was like, fine, I'll do it because everyone keeps telling me to do it. And then I was like, oh, no, it worked. And it's scary.
Yeah, it worked.
Yeah. I get that.
And I haven't had the back pain since.
That is so good. I'm so happy for you.
And it's been...
I might have to go see your girl.
It's been 13 years.
Oh, well, if she's still in business, I might have to go see your doctor.
As far as I know.
Okay. She sounds incredible. That's great. I'm so happy for you. Like being out of immense, like excruciating daily pain it's amazing.
Well, and it works so quickly. Now I did have a follow-up with her 6 years later on my shoulder, my neck. And that took 24 hours to go away.
It's incredible.
But
yeah,
I could move my head again, sleep again.
That's great. I love that.
So, well, Chloe, I appreciate you coming in so much.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm glad it finally worked out. Thanks for, sorry, getting off topic. I just wanted to sort of visit with you too, because I was like, I want to know about you too.
Well, I like for people to get to know. And you can't get to know somebody, without spending a lot of time with them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or my questions are geared to get to know you better.
Completely fair. And I feel like I got to know you better. So,
Yeah.
hey, that's perfect.
Plus, I wanted to see you again.
You too.
Yeah.
I know. It's been, well, what, maybe a month, 2 months?
Yeah, not
Whatever
too awful
the
long.
competition, but still, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. I've had a great time.
Anything you want to tell everybody before we end?
Come book a facial with me. come, let me help you feel wonderful and beautiful and safe in your skin. That's my ultimate goal, and I love it when people leave my little massage table and they're like, I feel so good and happy. That's like the biggest compliment anyone can ever give me. So come see me, please.
Most of the photographers I know probably aren't going to get a facial anytime soon.
It's okay. All the guys that I've had come to me, minus one, have fallen asleep on the table. They finally get so relaxed because I feel like no one's allowed to feel safe in their bodies, especially guys. Everyone's like, oh, no, that's weird. That's women's. Ugh. And then, like, as soon as you feel comfortable, everything's just like, okay. It's a whole experience. So, yeah.
Well,
if you want to give it a try, I'd love to give it a try. And if you don't like it, that's okay. But still.
maybe we'll do another podcast where you giving me a facial.
Oh, that's fascinating. That could be fun. Yeah. And I could like go through the steps with you. And then you could also give me feedback as someone who's never had a facial, like what that's like. Yeah, maybe. I'd be down for that.
Oh, I'm down for it.
Perfect.
I have no shame.
That's fair. I mean, you will be laying there however you're comfy. We'll have the cameras angled to where you feel very attractive, because when you're laying down.
There's no angle in that.
But still, when you're laying down, your face does weird things from different angles. But yeah, that would be so fun. I'd love that.
Well, folks, if y'all want to see me get a facial for Chloe.
Thumbs up, whatever. I don't know where this is going. Instagram?
It'll
Heart it?
It'll be on YouTube.
Beautiful.
And then I'll send you clips.
Beautiful.
Or wherever you want to put them.
Love that. I appreciate that. Sounds perfect.
All righty, Chloe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, bye, folks. I think we're done here.